Hare Krishna. So it's lovely to see you all, my Sakhis. And today's topic is the importance of spirituality. And we'll keep it more interactive rather than philosophical. It will be philosophical, it will be more direct. But I will like if you ask me questions, and we are all friends here, we are all Sakhis. So it'll be more like a fun interaction. And let's start then, okay? Om Ajnanatimanaanasya Jnananjalashalakhya Chakshurunmilitanmene Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, importance of spirituality. Anybody can tell me what is spirituality? What do you think is spirituality? Anyone? Whatever your thought is about. Sorry? Connection to Krishna. Okay. What I feel is the way to live life is spirituality. The belief that we have that there's a higher power above us, there's someone supreme above us, that belief, that strength is spirituality. The journey to love Him, to understand His love, is spirituality. The journey from this material world to the spiritual world is spirituality. Okay, so forgive me if I'm too heavy or very direct, but this is what we're going to talk about today. And to understand God's love and to give Him that love is spirituality. He has given us this love since many births, but we could not reciprocate that love. Understanding how to reciprocate that love is spirituality. So, how many species do we have? Anyone? 84 lakh, correct. And in those 84 lakh species, every species has their own specific quality and an important factor to it. And in those 84 lakh species, human species is one of the greatest, like it's the greatest species, like the most important species, right? When I was very young, I used to think if we are so important, then there should be some, superpower, which we've seen. There are superheroes and superwomen. There should be some superpower which we have, correct? And what is that superpower? Because we can see birds flying and we can see fish can breathe underwater. Why can't we do that if we are that, the best species? And I was like, what is the superpower? As scientists are evolved and they have gotten so many things in so many years, maybe they've forgotten to invent that switch, in our body. And we've forgotten to, maybe in few years we'll get to know that, we'll understand that superpower which we have. And I used to think, what is that superpower? Or why can't we fly? I guess there will be some switch that we'll get wings and we'll be able to fly or something like that. But no, later on I got to know that superpower is our consciousness, We have our consciousness which God has given us, and to understand His love, to love Him is our superpower. That is the switch which I used to think when I was young. That switch is the switch of Krishna consciousness, and we have to try to keep it on forever. We have to try. We can't keep that consciousness going on every second, but Krishna gives us the strength once we start our journey to keep it on, and that's how we should try just serving him, serving Guru, and serving Krishna should be the goal of life. So this is a story which I used to think, in that to keep that switch on is very important. As Sakhis, as Matajis, the values which we have, we can share it to the world, because we are going to create new life. We can share it to the next generation and then the next generation. The way we can build a child or a soul in being Krishna conscious and being a devotee to Krishna is a very important factor of being a Mataji. And that's the best blessing we can get from Krishna. So remembering those values which Prabhupada has given us and giving it to the next generation so that they can serve in Prabhupada's mission is what we can do, biggest blessing. So I have a few pointers. Let's see. We will yes. So unfortunately in Kali Yuga we have forgotten about that switch, and we are more towards the external factors, external everything. External, may it be material things or external, seeing a person also we judge someone by the exterior, the way they look or whatever the exterior X factor is. But spirituality is opposite. It's completely on internal things and internal realizations. So, our soul's nature is Satchitananda, which is to be loved and to love, correct? And what do we expect from everyone is love and respect, and that's what we want to also give. But because of our few karmas and our past deeds, we can't see that. It's that vision is getting blurred, and I feel the way to correct is through serve and start your spiritual journey, and that is the importance of this human birth that we can have. And that's what we will talk about today. I hope you are ready with your questions also. We'll keep it interactive. And yes. So, and do you know why our nature is Satchitananda? Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is all about love, That's why if mother is something, the child is supposed to be like that, correct? It's our nature to be like that, but we've just forgotten. And it's been so many births that he has not forgotten us. So it's our duty that we reciprocate him this love. He's given us this, we are blessed, he's given us this body, human body, to think and keep that Krishna consciousness switch on. So we should always try to do that, and we should think in that way, So I feel, the best thing is that we can start our journeys, and further on we will get to know his love through bhakti yoga and all these things. So Krishna is very merciful, and through love only we can understand him, not by just being a Vaishnava and putting tilak and kantimala, but we have to start loving him through love. We can understand him through love. So the next point I wanted to talk about is that I want to talk about bhakti points. Do you all know what is bhakti points? Anyone? We know coins, right? Financial coins. And anyone knows about bhakti coins? What is bhakti coins? Chanting? Yes. Harinam? Yes. Hearing kirtan? Correct. So, having faith, of course. So by all of this together, we collect our bhakti coins. which is the most important thing, you know, most important treasure which we can collect the entire life. Only these coins can get us out of this cycle and get us a better birth next, life, and can be valued at the end. But we forget we're in this material world and everyone is just behind which coins? Yes, finance, coins. That is important for survival, but not getting attached to it is our duty, you know. And we should try collecting our bhakti coins, and eventually that is going to get valued. People just forget we get this human body, we enjoy, and at the end of life, you've seen many of our grandmothers and grandparents start chanting their rounds and start getting, you've seen most of our grandparents being very spiritual, you know, and they think that it's going to be the end of life and you're going to start your spiritual journeys at the end of life, rather than we can connect to God since birth or even before birth, you know, before even we are born, we can give those samskaras to a child. So I remember someone telling me, oh, you're chanting and you're reading Gita and you're doing all these things, but you know, you're like my grandmother does the same thing. But that's a late realization in life. Krishna says you've not made a connection with me the entire life, you know, it's the end of life you've started. He appreciates that also, but it's our responsibility to start it very young, and that's the importance of spirituality and this human birth. So it's very important that we start young age and we reciprocate that love to Krishna and collect our bhakti coins. When we leave the body, we will not take away with us, not even this body is ours, everything is given by Krishna, correct? And we're not going to take our anything, relationships, money, fortune, or our finance, our houses, nothing is going to go up with us. We're just going to take our bhakti coins, which is going to be giving us a better life, which will make us connect with God better and then complete our journeys, which will lead us to Godhead. Correct? So it's very important that you start earning bhakti coins, and we all do that together, and you can do that by even spreading Krishna consciousness in a very little way. As much as possible you can do it by just putting tilak. You know, you should with pride put it, because it's your Thakurji's chinna, it's your Thakurji's feet and tulsi mala, the tulsi on his feet, right? Wearing tulsi mala is also one thing which you can go. I don't understand people being, then they don't usually show it out and they ask, why do you put this? So the answer should be that you should wear it with pride. Like a woman wears a sindoor to show her husband's presence, we should show it for the Lord that we're his children and he's our Lord. We are Vaishnavas, and it should be born with a lot of pride feeling and love and affection to the Lord. So these are the few points I wanted to give, that you all can make a difference in this world, in this life, by just giving these to other people and to start their spiritual journeys, you know. So that's it. I wanted to share a few more points, but I wanted to talk about my journey as well. And I'm sure why everyone wants to know that how and what and when, and there are many questions. So after that, after I share the journey, I would want you to ask if you all can give me some questions, and we'll keep it interactive. So I was born and raised in Pune, and earlier I was related to Kunjabihari temple and then NVCC later on. My father was introduced to ISKCON when 2008. I was 8 years old, 8 to 9 years old, and since then I've been a devotee, and there used to be, bachpan mein to we not used to chant so much, but you know, going at devotee houses and listening to lectures, and we used to draw and color Radharani and Krishna, and you know, that used to be fun. But then later on, I was there till 12th standard in Pune, and then I came to Mumbai. You know, this journey was very simple, but in Mumbai, when I came, I don't know what, out of nowhere, I just joined an acting class. I was doing my management studies along with it. And I realized what, you know, I should, you know, try. And my parents were against because they were devotees. I don't know what desire I had, but I just wanted to just try and give an audition. And I auditioned, and for getting my first role, it was like almost 7 to 8 months. It was on, off, yes, no, and I auditioned for it. There were rounds, there were shortlisting auditions, and it was on and on and on. And after that, I got my first show, which was for Star Plus. And I remember it was good. I never wanted to act in films because that's a little out of the box, which my mom has taught me, like, not to, that's our values which we've been raised. But it just happened, my first show, and then the second show happened where the show got a lot of popularity. But then I realized that if it'll keep going on and on, I can't just focus on my sadhana. And when I get time to do my 16 rounds and read Gita and all these things which I used to follow. But being there, I was there for 1 year. Being there, I followed my 4 regulative principles. Krishna protected me. Everything was good. But still, you know, you have that thing that you just want to leave and focus on Krishna. Krishna gives you opportunities. He gives you a lot of things, but you have the free will to choose what you want. Choose where you get close to Him. Always remember that if this decision is going to take me away from my Lord, just avoid it, because you have the free will. We have the free will, that's why we are here on this material planet. Otherwise, where would have been be? Like, we would have been in spiritual world, right? So He doesn't interfere in our free will. He has given us the choice, so choose wisely. If I would have kept on going, after my show I got a bigger opportunity, and He wanted me, He always is there, He tests you in a very, He's like, you know, like curvy. He's not straight, right? Krishna is not straight. He's like curvy, and He tests you. He gives you opportunities, but if you have that intelligence, and He gives you the intelligence to make the right choice also. Pray to Him that give me the intelligence to give and choose correctly, so that I get closer to You rather than I get away, you know. And once you start your journeys, it's not going back. It's never, you hold His hand, He holds your hand even much more like tighter. Even if you want to leave, He's like, no, there's no going back. You're mine now, you know. And that's how Krishna is. He just wants our love, nothing else, you know. He has given us love since our first birth, since so many ages, and we've not even reciprocated Him. We've forgotten Him completely, you know. Our responsibility is to just give Him love, give this entire birth to Krishna, you know. Just give Him that. Like Prabhupada says that just give one birth to Krishna, you know, and it's going to be magical. We are in this material world, we'll have material desires, but not getting attached to it is a very important factor. By Bhakti Yoga, we can just, you know, love Him and keep loving Him. By Karma Yoga, we can do our karmas and not get attached to the fruit of our karmas, you know. That's what is Gita all about, and that's the factor. But still, all He wants us to realize that there is a spiritual journey waiting for you. As soon as we start the journey, it's nothing like it. It's all magical. There will be hardship, of course. Your devotee's life is not simple. Every turn and twist, it's like a roller coaster ride of tests, and you have to try passing every test. You know, it's not simple. People think that being a devotee, everything comes to you easily, but no, it's like a roller coaster ride. But He gives you that strength to pass it also. So, yes, so I decided not to continue, and people ask me, why do you want to like preaching or you put videos? And there was this small incident where I heard in a lecture that how if mother and a child is separated on a station or something, you would want to help them, correct? You would want to help that mother get to her child. Similarly, if we get so many souls back to our mother, Krishna, who is giving us the birth, we are his part and parcel, who has created us, the entire universe. If we help them get back to Godhead, get back to him, that's magical. That bhakti coins is unmeasurable. Don't do it for the bhakti coins also, just do it for the love of Krishna. Just do it for him, that he'll feel so happy. Mother's happiness is with the child. Nowadays, when we grow up, we are all busy with our lives, we are busy with our partners, respective partners, we forget our parents. But do they forget us? Do they don't call us? It's like अगर कहीं बाहर गए और एक फ़ोन नहीं आता है मम्मा का, ऐसा भी होता ही नहीं है. She keeps calling you, खाना खाया, this खाया, that खाया. But do we do that much to them? No. And that's the same thing with Krishna. He has been so merciful, he has protected you in many situations which you don't know. He knows you better than you know, because he knows your journey since so many births. So just getting you close to him is what I would love, and just by being here under Srila Prabhupada's shelter, we have already started our journeys and we are already here. Being born in this land, Dev Bhumi, India, is a very, very fortune which we get, and sitting here just listening in front of Radha Madan Gopal and Radharani and Lalita Devi, Shaka Mataji. So all this is just our start of the journey, and we've already shown the desire to love Krishna. And he sees that, he knows our every thought. Just by desiring that, he will push you so hard. You take one step, he pulls you 1,000 steps towards him, correct? So all these things we should understand. And I feel unfortunate that some of the people think that does God exists? And this is most of the question which is asked. And do you believe? What are you doing? Like, you're doing this so much, and does he really exist? Is he there? And I know this one story. When Prabhuji was thinking that, does God exist? He was into IIT, and some of the brahmacharis asked him to get flowers from Krishna and Radharani. He was like, okay, let's go. And he went to the flower shop, and he was bewildered, he was amazed by the amount of flowers were there. Every flower with every color and every detail, the smallest detail. And he was like, a normal person can't create this. We don't have the quality to create such an amazing, amazing thing. It's so beautiful. And we've seen so many species with so much detail and so much specific thing on it to survive this life and death cycle. Everyone has their own special thing to survive and be strong. Not a normal person can do this. Of course Krishna is there. Of course he's there. He's always been there. It's just that we have forgotten him. Realizing that is spirituality, and having this body, we'll get that realization. Not in any other species or any other body, we don't get an opportunity to understand God. So why it is important to be spiritual is that you finish your journeys completely and get connected to God, serve him, serve your gurus, and go back from this unhappy world to the happy world. Go from this temporary world to the permanent world, to temporary relationships to permanent relationships, from hatred to love, from uncertainty to certainty, from everything which is negative to positive. There is just happiness with Krishna. There is nothing else there. There is no sorrow. we're just happy with him. So our soul wants happiness, our soul wants love. So we should be going to that world, correct? We don't belong here, correct? And yes, so that is spirituality, and that's what we realize as human bodies, which it's rare to get this human birth. After 84 lakh species, we've got this body, correct? After 84 lakh species, we've got this body, and now suddenly we don't make most of it, we don't make use of it. Krishna has given us this gift, we should give him the return gift. What return gift we can give to Krishna? He has everything, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What we can give, what he wants, is the gift of love and affection, okay? And we should do that, use this body to connect, because we don't know if our next birth is going to be of a human birth, correct? And when we are going to get this human birth. But Krishna is very merciful that if you start your journeys, and he will make sure that next birth you get is in a devotee house, and you can continue it from very beginning, very start, and finish the journeys as soon as quickly possible, because a mother is always waiting for a child to come home very soon, right? बच्चा सुबह जाता है काम के लिए, mom is always waiting in the evening when they return back, and they come and I can feed them and I can play with them. That's how Krishna and Radharani is, and we should take their shelter, make this human body, take advantage of this and connect to God. That's why it's very important that you all understand this and give it to the next generations, give these values and keep it continuing to the next generations. Because being a devotee, I had thought, if everything is Krishna, I should also be brahmachari. That thought occurs. But, I heard Prabhupada's lecture when he says that all men should get married and women should be, opposite, all men should be brahmacharis and women should get married, correct? So that hit me very hard, because a lady can give the sanskaras and create a new life, and may she be a source of, a source of making that soul complete his journey, his spiritual journey. So, of course, you can do that. That's the biggest blessing we get, is to nourish our children and give them this divine blessing and mercy and nectar of devotion, which we get from our gurus and our parents and Srila Prabhupada. That's all we can do, is chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission was to give Harinam to every soul possible. That's how we can do little or try to just be a part or speck of their mission and try to serve our gurus. And this was it. I would want to interact with y'all more. If y'all ask me questions, and I would love to answer. So, anyone has questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, I was so excited to meet you. Everyone here will be excited to meet you. And मेरे को ऐसे बहुत सारे questions थे कि जब मैं उनसे मिलूंगी तो मैं उन्हें पूछूंगी. So I have 3 questions. That आपको कैसे पता चला कि मतलब ये right time है कि you should leave the industry and come to the Krishna consciousness?
See, there's never a right time, I remember first show I did. After that first show, I wanted to leave. I had decided I was a devotee since 8 or 9 years old, and I never wanted to. I always did roles which are positive and which are traditional. I wanted to leave before my marriage, and after my first show, I thought to leave completely, and it was locked down that time. So I got more connected, and I was doing my 16 rounds that time. I was doing everything. I was reading Gita. And after that, suddenly this opportunity came, and in that thing, you think that there is so much of uncertainty. My other colleagues were not getting work, and suddenly you get this opportunity. So you thought of why not to give it a try, correct? I gave it a try, and Krishna, being testing you, he just gave it that opportunity to me. I was like, okay, I will do it. And that 1 year, I realized that, what I was born for, I never got connected. I am getting away and away and away and away every single moment. And you should do your karmas, but not where it's completely opposite from your thinking or what you've believed in since very young age. Correct? It's not, just leave things or situations or people where they're contaminating your Krishna consciousness. You remember we talked about our spirit, superpower. That is our superpower, right? If now someone is taking our superpower away from us, we don't want to be there. So I realized after my second show, I should just, avoid it. And it's always like Krishna is here and Maya Devi is here. Maya's meaning is what? Which is not. Something which is not. Maya is full of illusion. She'll be like very tempting. But no, Maya is this side, Krishna is this side. Maya is darkness and Krishna is light. The moment you start feeling your Krishna consciousness, Krishna starts getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, and Maya is like she dulls out, she fades. But you start feeling Maya, she becomes darker and darker and darker and darker, and that light of Krishna fades and the room becomes darker. So when you realize that, I don't want, I want my Krishna's shelter, I don't want I'm getting away from him. I don't want to feed Maya anymore. I just want your lotus feet, Krishna. You stop testing me this time. I'm going to pass your test. That happened, and I realized I wanted to leave. And I tried as much in the industry also to always speak about Krishna and always tell them that I'm a devotee since young age. I tried, but it was not always to the full extent. I couldn't express my feelings. So after that also, I had an opportunity for a lead opportunity for a double of normal coins, not the bhakti coins, normal coins. But I was getting the double amount which I was getting in my last show. But this time I took the decision very, very wisely, because when I was doing my second show, a senior brahmacharya, a disciple of Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had come at my place. He was like, you always do have a choice, Anagha. And that one sentence just kept in my head, that I always do have a choice. And this time I'm going to choose my bhakti coins, my Krishna, over the material thing. I'm not saying anyone should leave their work or their occupation, be there, serve, but in Krishna consciousness. This was this opportunity which I had got. I could have stayed there and served, but it's not easy to say in a world completely opposite. There is a lot of hypocrisy there, a lot of, we are, as a Vaishnavas, we want to push each other up. We want to help each other up. We don't want to pull each other down, correct? Out there, the world is all about pulling each other and getting envious about someone's growth. I didn't feel comfortable because I was not raised in that situation. And I decided to go for my bhakti coins, which eventually will be collected by the Lord during the end of this birth. So I decided not to go ahead, and that